Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
As communities prepare for the eventual arrival of a COVID vaccine, Governor Whitmer calls on Congress to extend one more economic lifeline.
And we're learning much more tonight about the two people now at the center of the fight over Wayne County's election results. Glad you're with us tonight for Local 4 News at 6. The tug of war over Michigan's election balloting tops our news tonight.
The Trump campaign appears to be switching up its legal strategy, reaching out to state GOP leaders in its bid to somehow flip Michigan and its electoral votes after the fact. Michigan House Speaker Lee Chatfield and Senate Leader Mike Shirkey are reportedly set to meet with the president at the White House Friday.
The Trump campaign says it is withdrawing its federal lawsuit filed in Michigan, instead arguing that Wayne County hasn't certified its election results. That's because two county canvassers, Monica Palmer and William Hartman, now say they want to take back their votes, which they cast to certify. That after a dramatic day of yo-yoing on that decision on Wednesday and Wednesday night.
But according to the Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, it's too late for that. She put out a statement today saying, quote, there is no legal mechanism for them to rescind their vote. Their job is done, and the next step in the process is for the Board of State Canvassers to meet and certify. Well, now chances are you may not be very familiar with the people in charge of certifying election results.
County canvassers don't generally have high-profile jobs, but they are suddenly grabbing a lot of headlines. Rod Maloney spent the day uncovering information about the pair at the center of all of this controversy. Rod.
Yeah, Devin, we're here in Wyandotte, and the house behind the pine tree here belongs to William Hartman. Now, he is one of the Republican Board of Canvasser members. We've reached out to him, texted, called, tried to get a hold of him, emailed him, have not had any response from him whatsoever since his interview with Mara McDonald back after the initial situation at the meeting the other night. But we're learning more about him and also Monica Palmer, and we'll get to that in just a second. But let's take a second to look at the fact that this has become a national story.
Wayne County's election controversy found its way to Washington, D.C. today. The president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, laid out an extensive legal case claiming massive election fraud.
The margin in Michigan was 146,121, and these ballots were all cast basically in Detroit, that Biden won 80-20. So you see a change as a result of the election in Michigan, if you take out Wayne County.
Michigan Democrats lined up to knock down Giuliani's theory. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist weighed in.
No one, neither myself nor the voters in Michigan, should be paying attention to what Rudy Giuliani is doing or talking about, let alone what the president is doing to undermine the results of this election.
In the meantime, we're learning more about the two Wayne County Republican Board of Canvasser reps. Republican political activist Monica Palmer is 40 years old, fairly new to the Grosse Pointe Woods area. She recently married another local activist, Richard Shetler. Previously, she lived near Kalamazoo and worked as a secretary for the Van Buren County Republican Party. She, like William Hartman, ended up appointed to the canvassing board through the state Republican Party, which submits names to county commissions for such positions. Today, we visited Hartman's Wyandotte address. No one was home, and it appears to be a converted apartment. Hartman is 62 years old, has run a PR and marketing firm, and does some political consulting. Both say their families were threatened and were called racist and other things, which led to their acquiescing on the certification.
Now, Monica Palmer has an ethics complaint against her, claiming that because she ran what they called a dark money PAC in the local Grosse Pointe Woods school election this past cycle, that was a conflict of interest. And so the ethics board in the county is taking that up. She refutes all of the claims and says that she didn't do anything wrong. She's also going to be holding a press conference tomorrow at her attorney's office in Farmington, and we'll certainly be there front row center for that one. Reporting live in Wyandotte, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Questions in hand. All right, Rod. Well, now to the latest on the coronavirus as the surge of new cases continues across Michigan.
The state reports 7,592 new cases of the virus in the last 24 hours. 134 more Michiganders have died. That includes 61 discovered through a review of past vital records. Michigan's chief medical executive says hospitals across the state, on average, are 79% full. The CDC is urging Americans to avoid Thanksgiving travel as virus cases rise across the country. And in a letter to congressional leaders, Governor Whitmer is urging passage of the stalled coronavirus relief bill.
It's crucial that this relief bill gets passed because it includes aids to the states and locals to help combat the virus, to mitigate the economic fallout, to provide support for our kids and our educators, to protect the nurses and doctors and people on the front line, to help out our restaurants who are struggling, and our small businesses and so many who are out of work. Federal support was essential to the action that we took to fight this pandemic this spring, and it helped us stabilize our economy in the early months of the pandemic. Now, during the worst surge that we have seen since the start of this, Michigan and states across the country need more support to protect our families, frontline workers, and small businesses.
With more promising news about vaccines, Macomb County is preparing. The county received this freezer today to hold the Pfizer vaccine if it should get an FDA emergency use authorization. It is one of 5 freezers the county has ordered. It is set to minus 112 degrees and can hold tens of thousands of batches of the vaccine. The county says, or doses of the vaccine. The county says if all goes well, it may start receiving vaccine shipments in December.
The public is probably going to be saying, hey, when you get it, when can I have mine? Again, there's going to be a process played out, and there's going to be a lot of information, an information campaign coming public to tell people, listen, don't be besieging health departments, knocking on a door, asking where your vaccine is. We're going to let the public know exactly how that process plays out. And understand, I'm hearing it's a 2-part process. They may be 21 days apart where you get one vaccine, and then you have to get vaccinated again about 21 days later.
The state gave the county 1 freezer. The rest are being paid for with grants.
We're learning new information about the alleged plot based around the kidnapping of Governor Whitmer. The group linked to that plot allegedly creating other plans first, which included televised executions. Our Grant Herms joins us live. And Grant, the descriptions of these plans are really very disturbing.
Kimberly, they really are, and we already knew about the alleged planning to storm the Capitol as well as the governor's vacation home, but this is the first time that we've seen alternative plans, like you said, include public televised executions, and if they would have been carried out, they would have meant the murder of hundreds.
Inside newly discovered filings, 2 new alleged plots in the ongoing case against 14 men who are allegedly planning to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. According to recent filings, members of the group had a Plan B, but it was initially Plan A, to storm the Capitol with 200 men and, quote, take hostages, execute tyrants, and have it televised. The plan, they said, would take roughly 1 week, adding no one is coming out alive. The original Plan B was less complicated. The group would storm the Capitol while the legislature was in session, lock the doors, and burn the building to the ground. One associate had allegedly attempted to take selfies to document entrances and exits at the Capitol during a rally. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist reacting to the plots today.
These have been stoked for years by President Trump, by the rhetoric, by the way that he approaches people and the way that he approaches politics, give space, opportunity, and energy to people who are afraid and filled with hate and want to do damage.
Across state lines, another court hearing for one of the accused, Brian Higgins. This week, the governors of both Michigan and Wisconsin have filed the paperwork to have him extradited to Michigan, although it's unclear when that may happen.
And that Wisconsin judge said Higgins should remain held without bail until they can figure out those extradition orders. His next hearing is set for December 15th. Kimberly?
Okay, Grant, we appreciate it.
A few months back, we told you about a bipartisan effort to reform the criminal justice system in Michigan. 24 bills in that package have already been sent to the governor, but 18 more have not, including measures to stop driver's license suspensions for minor offenses. Larry Spruill shows us how several bipartisan groups came together today to urge state lawmakers to finish the job.
Now, the groups say it's all about passing new laws that will help all Michiganders.
We are so excited about this coalition, and we're excited about these reforms.
And Kimberly Budding with the ACLU of Michigan says that real process is coming to light.
I also want to thank Speaker Chatfield, Majority Leader Shirkey, 100 Republicans and Democrats who have already cast their votes for this legislation.
We're talking about 18 new and proposed bills, a part of the justice reform package. Thursday, several organizations like Americans for Prosperity, the ACLU of Michigan, Safe and Just Michigan, and the Mackinac Center for Public Policy presented the justice reform package to the state, House, and Senate, addressing key and important issues like driver's license suspensions, mandatory minimum sentencing, case initiation, sentencing and probation, and racial justice and fairness.
Right now in Michigan, hundreds of misdemeanors are not eligible for citations. That means that officers are limited in their discretion and have to arrest individuals that they come into contact with. We also know that pretrial jails, suspended licenses, and mandatory minimum sentences dramatically and disproportionately impact Michigan's minority communities.
And it's getting support from both sides of the aisle.
So believe it or not, progressives and conservatives, we can find that common ground.
The State House approved the package. Now it's the Senate's turn.
Senate bills have only passed out of Senate committee, so they're still waiting for a floor vote, and then they have to go all the way back over to the House for a committee hearing, a vote, and to the floor for a vote as well.
Larry Spruill, Local 4.
All right, Larry. Some big FM radio changes today in Metro Detroit.
89X, the area's alternative rock station for decades, is now Pure Country 89. It switched over at noon today. The final song was Stop by Jane's Addiction. It was the first song played at the station in 1991, but Detroit will still have a station for new alternative music. 98.7 The Breeze has switched to Alt 98.7.
But you'll be on the wrong station for a while as you look and try to get used to the new order of things. One of Detroit's top barbecue joints hit by crime, the very large item that has gone missing from Slows.
We'll have that coming up. Plus, here's Ben.
Kim and Devin, we soared to the 60s today. We'll get to do it one more time tomorrow, but the real November shows up for the weekend. We'll look at a half and half wet stretch coming up.
What happens to that swab after a sample is collected from your nose? I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, I'll take you inside a local lab to see how the tests are run and what's causing big delays at many labs